Part 3. So, husband, pregnant, telling my doctor I think I'm pregnant with twins. And I was. I was about 13 weeks. And those 2 dots were sitting right there. And my doctor said, you know what? I apologize. Your mommy's intuition must have kicked in early. So ecstatic. Wanted to come back to Georgia. My ex-husband was in the reserve. Had something with military men. But anyway, he was in the reserve. We had to come up. Went to go tell my mom. And she didn't want to look at the ultrasound. It was 12 o'clock at night, and she was like, you're not getting ready to let me see all them fishes swimming around and all that stuff. And then I got to go back and try to get to bed. I was like, Mommy, please look at it. And I literally was begging my mama, and she was like, no. And I was like, oh my God, Mommy, please look at the thing. So she finally did. She was like, why this thing got 2 heads? So there you go. So I said, Mommy, why would the baby have 2 heads? Why? She was like, wait a minute. Is this twins? And I was like, yes. So now my family never heard about twins before, but they all are coming up about twins. Twins here, twins there, twins everywhere. And I was like, are you kidding me? So, went through, gave birth 36 weeks. They were healthy, 6'3", 5'13". Very big twins for 36 weeks, because you know that last month they gain about a pound a week. So I'm glad I had them when I did. Had a C-section. But in the meantime, I had been working for a carrier because the airport thing didn't work out. And I was part-time working full-time hours. They told me to get a doctor's letter. They would pull me off the road. And the supervisor got trumped by the manager because he was like, if she can't carry them out on the road, she's not going to be able to carry that stuff inside. Even though I would have had help, they put me on leave. So I had no check because I am part-time. So during that time, I had asked my ex-husband, hey, can you just please work a second job? Just let me spit these babies out and I'll go right back to work. My job is there. I just, and he looked at me and he was like, I worked 2 jobs for another woman and I'm not working 2 jobs again. And I'm like, wait a minute. First, I'm not another woman. Second, I'm your wife. And third, I got 2 babies cooking in this bun. I was livid, but the end result was 2 things. It was twofold. The first thing was a man, back in the day, you would sign, like if you signed for a loan, like a signature loan, you would put down your toaster, your coffee maker, your this, that, and the other as collateral. And a man, I was home with the babies by myself, and a man came to my back door so he could collect a toaster. And my heart was, I was scared to death, and it didn't seem to really matter to my ex-husband. Second thing that was the camel, the needle that broke the camel's back, the sheriff came to the door. They asked for him. I said, I'm his wife. You've been served. Child support papers. Okay. Now, let me preface this and say, and I'm honestly, I'm not proud of this. I was young. I didn't have kids, and I didn't understand the severity of how much time with kids and also finances with kids, how important it is. I didn't understand. And I couldn't figure out why my money had to leave. Our money had to leave out of our household to go to their household. I didn't get the concept. I get it now, but I didn't. And so with that said, the child support papers, I was like, hey, you said that this child is not yours. He's been telling me this for 18 months. So just go and do a blood test. We'll take it to the court. They'll say you're not the father and put this baby to, put this puppy to rest. And he looked me square in my face and said, I don't need a blood test. I know she's mine. Okay. All right. So at that particular moment, I started to plot. I knew that I was going to leave. I was okay. Honestly, I did not have to get married. I was fine just having babies. Just my upbringing. I tried to appease my mom and God, honestly. Once again, I am not throwing shade at anybody, but I was just a person that my mother's opinion, it mattered to me. We were very close, and it mattered to me. So I had my kids, and so honestly, I could leave now, and I was okay with leaving. My heart was shattered. He told me he was not that child's father. So now we've gone to 5 kids. And just to make this the last part of the story, ended up with several more kids that came out. I remember my next to the oldest daughter. And yes, they're still my babies. I'm still close to all of them. I'm closer to them than he is. She called me one day when the twins were little and said, Mommy, and everybody calls everybody's mom. I contacted everybody when I moved back here to Georgia and said, hey, we've all been hurt by this man, but we've all got siblings and we need to make sure. And everybody was on board except for one person. And, that was her prerogative. She had gotten too hurt and just didn't want to be involved. I get it. But the only reason they would call me Mama Pam is if the other moms or their mom was in the room. But other than that, I was just Mommy. And my kids did the same thing. So it was, So anyway, she called me and she said, Mommy, she said, there's a guy that's at my school. I think she was in middle school, maybe her first year of high school. And he looks just like us because they all, like, literally, you could connect the dots. And he looks just like us. However, he doesn't know his dad and he has the same last name. And I was like, well, you can't date him because you'll have kids with 3 legs. Because, it was almost like kissing cousins. We didn't know. And so that's just kind of how my life went from there. The kids were just popping out of everywhere. And unless his back was pushed against the wall, he wouldn't admit to it. So needless to say, we stayed married for a little while longer until I met husband number 3. The husband number 2 and I were separated, but stayed married 6 or 8 years. I don't know how long. And I only got divorced because I was getting ready to marry husband number 3. Good luck. So we'll come back with that. All right.